Hi, it's Rob Mitchell for Tunes and TO, and I'm here with Brad and Angus, two members of Pick a Piper. And Pick a Piper is actually a collective of you and two other gentlemen, and you are in a bunch of other bands. I was wondering, how did you guys meet and decide to form Pick a Piper?
I've been in bands with Angus since like high school, I guess. So it I've kind of been playing together for quite a long time. And our friend Dan, I don't know what the high school connection is, but he was also a high school buddy that I played in various bands with as well. We hadn't played together in a little while, and it's kind of made sense. Like I was off tour for like a year. I was kind of home, and I was itching to do something with music. And our friend Clint is like actually his first band he's ever been in, and he's an amazing musician. So I'm not sure why he hasn't before, and we decided to get something going. And it's us, and we kind of also like collaborate with other friends sometimes too. It's not like limited to the scope of the four members of the band. We have a trombone player playing with us live, and we have other friends who kind of pop up on recordings too.
There's so many different musical styles going on in Pick a Piper, like psychedelic rock, tribal music. You can go on and on. I was wondering, how did you mesh all these styles together? Because on paper, it doesn't really seem like, oh, okay, well, that would work together.
I think say first? Or do you want me to get in there?
I'd say that comes from the fact that there's four of us coming from different interests in music, I guess. Especially Brad and I. Brad has been taking a lot of samples from older music and tribal music, and I have a lot of sort of pop music interests that I contribute towards the band. So that's kind of where those two things come together.
Yeah, we wanted to create something that was kind of upbeat and like danceable, but also something that really focused on like drums and drumming and like as well as like as well as like Angus's pop sensibilities. But I just love kind of atmospheric, kind of psyched out stuff too. So it's a matter of trying to just put everything you like into one thing and hopefully not over cramming it and not confusing the song. But I think we've been able to figure out a style of our own, like our voice that seems to have worked out. I don't know.
I think Pick a Piper, especially as a band that should be seen live, I was wondering how much rehearsal time goes into getting the live show as tight as possible.
I don't want to let out any secrets, but we do very little rehearsal before our shows, and not because we choose that way. It's because Brad's really busy most of the time. And for instance, for this North by Northeast show, we're having one practice, sort of the day before, actually. And we're doing a lot of new stuff too, so it's kind of crazy. But hopefully that won't show in our performance.
That kind of keeps us on our toes, and we just like develop songs over time live. So initially, we put a lot of work into like figuring out what our voice would be live, what our our thing would be live, and having figured that out, each new song we kind of like bring to the live show in very infant stages, and then over time it just develops, and then sometimes that reflects the recording, and we'll go back and we'll change things. And our friend Steve, who's been playing trombone with us live for the past few months, he's come from an improvisational background. So usually it's like the four of us practicing, and then Steve will come in for like an hour, and then he'll just make up stuff on the spot, which is kind of gives it a bit of an unpredictability to the show that is exciting for us.
Could you say it's like almost jazz music then, where if you guys will have like a concept and then you can just riff on that?
The song structures live are pretty much like set. We're not really like jamming so much. I'm not interested in kind of being a jam band. I want like kind of tight, like focused, kind of danceable compositions. But it's more some of like the extra layers where he'll just kind of come up with interesting ideas over top of that kind of pop format.
I was also wondering, you guys in this collective, and what have you guys learned from being together and working on this project, Pick a Piper, this musical band? And is there anything you've learned that you've taken to your other bands?
Well, in the past, I would do stuff with a band. I would do solo stuff, and this band has kind of just made us not maybe do less and focus our energies more on this one project, because I've started to realize that, what everyone else's kind of skill sets, what they can bring to the table, kind of creates something larger than the sum of its parts. Whereas, like, if I go back and make a track myself, I'm like, oh, it's like too much just me, right? I'd rather have Angus. I just get ideas in my head like, oh, Angus could do this, and Dan could do this, and Clint could do this, and maybe my other friend could contribute this idea. And that's more exciting for us, I think, is this collaboration just seems to have worked so well that it's made us just want to focus our energies on this one band, and we're not so defined on even how we should sound, and it just seems to have come together that way.
When did you guys make that decision to have two drummers anchor the band?
The songs were like very drum focused in the recordings. That's kind of our vision, one of our visions from the start. So it only made sense to have a couple drummers live, and at some points in the set, there's actually all 4 of us or 5 of us will be drumming at once. So there is, like, every show has a section with 5 drummers. So that's kind of a staple, and then sometimes it gets crazier.
As I saw I read somewhere. Your goal is to get people up and dancing, or in Toronto, as you said, the Toronto sway, maybe.
The Toronto sway, yeah, the old. If we can get, like, a sway of sway radius of more than a few centimeters, then we're doing okay.
It's a good barometer when you're on stage. Oh, okay,
yeah.
They're kind of taking this.
But I mean, this shows that we're playing at 1 a.m. at the Garrison, so maybe people will be liquored up enough to, like, really sway, like,
And there might
into each other and knock each other over. That'd be great.
Is there any meaning behind Pick a Piper as the name of your band?
It's the only band name that I came up with that I didn't think totally sucked. So yeah, we just thought we'd go with it. Honestly, it's got nothing to do with anything whatsoever. I was just like, okay, this name is, like, tolerable. Most people probably won't hate it, so maybe they do. I just thought I'd go for it.
Kind of catchy.
It took months, of us being together and trying to figure out what to call ourselves, because you come up with ridiculous names, and it doesn't feel right for a while, and then you just stick with something, and it turns out okay. So yeah.
Maybe it doesn't matter, because every band name, when you first hear it, you think that's the worst band name I've ever heard, and then within a month you're like, oh, that's fine, whatever. I can handle that. Yeah.
Well, I think it is kind of an important decision. I mean, that's how you're going to be known as, and it'll be on flyers and everything.
Yeah, I 2 years in, I don't hate the name still, so I guess it was successful.
That's good. Well, this is Rob Mitchell here with Brad and Angus from Pick a Piper, and thank you guys so much for your time.
Cool, thanks for having us.
Good luck with the show.
Thanks for Pick a Piper. Thanks for staying up so late.